It's time for that part of the season. Yes, you know well, it's time to talk about a Isekai series. And what do I mean? Getting trapped into another world. Oh no! Like, what are we gonna do? So, I think it's probably best to say this already with, like, when it was coming for, like, talking about the series Death March, which, to be fair, I only checked this out because there was a part of my mind that was like, huh, Death March to a Parallel World that's a rad name. And then when you finally understand what the word, like how it's being referred into the show, Death March, I was like, well, that's actually kind of fucked up. Like, the whole reason about it. And I want to, like, at least talk about this episode because there are things I really like about this episode, and then there's the Isekai stuff that we get into this episode. So a good chunk, I'd like to say like 10, maybe like 11 minutes of the show. No, it wasn't fully half of the show, but it was focusing on our main character, like Sato, who was a like bug tester. Like, he was, like, you know, there fixing bugs, like trying to implement more things into like MMOs, mobile games. Like, in his company, he was about like 29 or so. And he's there, like, it actually showed how miserable the life was as working, where people would be sleeping in their offices like 3 days non-stop, not working, not having showers, you know, the horrible stuff that we've heard about, like, Japan's, like, work ethic, all of that stuff, which I was like, if this show goes into some of that stuff, I'd be really interested in finding out more about this. So you kind of see that he's there, and he's like, he seems like a good-hearted guy. I mean, you see one part of him, he's like, oh shit, there's a kid out over there. Oh, I'll take care of the like the kid and look after him. And it's like, oh no, man, the mom's here. And there was a bit that actually kind of made me laugh with the guy where he's like, don't worry, I'm not into kids. I'm not a lolicon. Although that fucking mom was hot though. I mean, he didn't say fucking, but he was like, man, that mom's hot. So I was like, alright, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. One, he's right. And two, he's like, that's just, I'm glad that's out of the way, because it's one of the things I fucking hate, if not, like, the 10 billion amount of these shows that come out, like, every season ever since SAO came out. Which, I like to point out, like, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, all of them. Like, I enjoy, like, Sword Art Online, but it's just, like, when everything was trying to ride on it, like, it was, like, you got Overlord, which, I mean, I personally couldn't get into, but I know it's good, so I might get back into that. Konosuba, that actually jabs fun into the series, which is fucking hilarious. And then you just get all the other, like, countless fucking forgettable shit, like Stuck in Another World on my cell phone, and, you know, just trash like that. Like, when you get into it, like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and come from this with, like, the most blankest, like, you know, whole, like, attitude towards it. Maybe I should give this a chance, maybe I might like this, and I was actually enjoying the first, like, 10 minutes or so, and then it went into the Isekai stuff, where it's like, he fell asleep, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna fix these bugs, and he seemingly went into a mixed up version, or at least how he was describing it in the show, of both of the MMOs, the mobile one and also this war game. I think it was like FFE, or it was called, like, the abbreviation for it. And then it was like War World, I believe, was the other one, where, like, alright, and he seemingly, like, go on there. And one interesting thing was, at first he was like, oh, we hadn't implemented this bug, like, here and all that, because these meteorite things don't work, and you had a map thing, because, like, oh, the beginning's too hard, and we had to fix that. And then it turns out you had the meteorite things, and turns out there was another bug, which was a lot more useful, and here comes the completely broken, overpowered part of the main character, which, of course, has to wear, like, a black cloak, like fucking Kirito, and for some reason is about 19 now, or so, like, in high school, because fuck it. Like, he, somehow when you use this giant-ass spell, when you got these free slots, it actually, when he was fighting, like, he was supposed to be fighting, like, some level 50, like, lizard people, which, as well, they were CGI, which didn't look great, I'll say that much. And it leveled him up to, like, 310, I believe. So, he's completely broken. He's pretty much God in this universe now. So, it's like, alright then, yeah, we've got the Black Swordsman here, let's see what we can do with this. And, like, we didn't really get to see much of the new cast. It was more him just trying to figure out the interface for the most part. At the end, he, like, rescued some girl when they were, like, trying to fight a wyvern. That was kind of his fault to begin with, that he sent it that way, because he threw a rock and it went straight through, like, the wyvern's wing. And I was like, alright, you got a good picture on now, I guess. It's like, I guess it's like, it's fine. Like, I guess that's the part of it where it's like, the show is fine, but when I saw, like, the opening and the ending, and it's just a bunch of just, like, oh, here's a bunch of cute girls trapped in this world with you, and I'm like, I felt like my soul escaped a little bit. It's like, yeah, I enjoy my harem series, but like honestly, I don't think there was a lot for me in this episode to like really continue watching it. Like I said, the only reason I gave it a try, and as fucking horrible as it sounds, was because I thought the name was interesting. I was like, I'm curious to see what that deal is then. So overall, like, it's not a... Would I even call it bad? Because the thing is, I liked the first episode, and then the second part of it was just like the same shit that you've seen all the time, where it's like, oh no, I'm trapped in another world. Oh, it's like an MMO. Like, you know. Whether or not this show gets better along the way, I don't know. Like, because the same thing, I had the same thing with, like, you know, how to pick up, like, girls in a dungeon, and then I actually ended up enjoying that stuff. So, like, it's like the first like bit of it is like, oh, it's like an MMO, yay, yeah. Like then again, that's just the thing. The problem is, I probably wouldn't have minded the show more. It's the oversaturation of the genre, and it's not the problem of the show per se. So I want to know, like, I don't know if this is a manga or a light novel. I had a feeling it's a light novel because that seems to be where all these Isekai series now come from, ever since SEO again. And I know, like, I keep bringing it up, but it is true. It is definitely true, since it's still one of the best-selling, like, franchises out there next to ReZero. So, you know, the kind of the franchise thing of being in another world works really well, and, you know, you have your good series on there, like ReZero, and then you just get stuff like this. I personally don't think this is as bad as, like, Trapped, because the thing is, I tried, like, Trapped in a World with my cell phone, and I turned it off after 5 fucking minutes, because I wanted to fucking slice my throat out from that. But this, it didn't offend me, but I wasn't fully entertained either, and then I was just like, yeah, I've seen this all before, yeah, so if this has a very unique thing apart from the characters overpowered, then yeah, like, honestly, I don't know what else to say. Honestly, I think the original part of this show was so much more interesting. Like, with the show, I haven't watched it from last season, which I heard a lot of good things about, was Recovery from MMO Junkie. I would have liked it if it was, I guess, something like that, where it shared both parts, where it's like, maybe this was just like, I think this episode would have been perfect for me if the last second was him waking up and he was back to doing his shitty work again. That would have been glorious to me, but no. And honestly, I just see no point in just reducing his age. It's just like it's like, oh, let's make him more attractable, because who finds a 29-year-old? Like, you know, of course he has to be a young high schooler, because fuck me. It's just fucking hell. So overall, a 5? I don't score anymore, but this is the most 5 of 5s I could ever give. It's like, it's not a 4 where I was like, I mean, I watched it and there were parts where I'm like, what the fuck, or like, oh, that looks near on there, but I think it's being done by Silverlink, so I'm kind of curious in some points. Like, if anything, if someone tells me this show gets better, or if it's like, no, this was either a bad adaptation, or just read the manga, or the light novel, then sure, tell me that, and I might be curious to check it out. But first episode just did not do it for me. Yeah, I was not feeling really any excitement from it. The opening's fine, and the animation's alright at some parts, just I couldn't stand the CG for the most part with like the lizard people, so let me know. That's all for me though, and I'll see you guys though next time.